suspicions. It may be justified, but it certainly isn't appreciated. Councillor Morvain simply feels that I'm being paranoid. I'm afraid that one day I'll awaken and discover him dead, and I don't want it to come to that. I do. I've received some information from my sources that there could be elements of Ulan's house, House Lalu, already in Ravenrock. Ravenrock is a small settlement, so it's hard to accomplish anything in secret. If any of them is from House Lalu, I wouldn't be able to make a move without them knowing. I had a feeling you'd be willing to listen to me. I need you to start out by being my eyes and ears. Search Ravenrock and see if you can root out these traitors. The best place to start would be Geldis Sadri, over at the Retching Netch Corner Club. If he provides you any leads, check them out before bringing them to my attention. I can't afford to make any mistakes. Traitors. The lot of them. Their collaboration with the Empire may have given them unrivaled political and economic strength, but their hearts weren't with the Dunmer people. Lalu deserved every bit of hatred they received once the Empire released its grasp on Morrowind. Having past ties to the Empire immediately turned them into the scapegoat for the Dunmer people's suffering. They had welcomed the Empire with open arms and benefited from it. When everything was said and done, they were no longer recognized as a great house and were dismissed from the council. I maintain a few contacts in other Dunmer settlements across Tamriel. Most hail from House Redoran, but there are a few from other houses. Most of my contacts live leagues away from Solstein. Sending the occasional message back and forth is all we can manage, and sometimes takes months or more to arrive. However, any information we can glean in times like this, I consider vital to House Redoran's survival. You might think it's all perfume and roses now that the mine's open, but all I see is a new security problem on our hands. Making sure those shipments of ebony make it safely from the mine to the shipping docks is my new order of the day. And with Solstheim crawling with reavers and Azora knows what else, I can't risk any attacks on Ravenrock. During the Oblivion Crisis, gates to the Plane of Oblivion opened all over Morrowind. The Empire pulled most of its forces out of Morrowind to deal with the gates in their own homeland, leaving us virtually defenseless. We had no standing army at the time, just uncoordinated pockets of resistance. House Redoran took charge and was slowly able to build an army. It took years, but it became a force to be reckoned with. When the Argonians invaded years later, House Redoran's army was able to prevent them from sweeping across all of Morrowind. It would be fair to say that House Redoran literally saved the Dunmer people from destruction. Don't worry, you can trust Geldis. He's been with us for a long time.
That world will cease to be.
Here in his shrine.
You can't hide from me.
Scratch!
Is someone there?
Over here! Done.
Get here! What was that?
Not good enough.
Good enough. They're down, I guess.
What happened?
If you're looking for the East Empire Company, they've been gone for over 100 years. Try Windhelm.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything. Or take a seat by the fire and I'll send someone over. Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. How do you think? It's a
I
blessing.
don't know if I can.
I've
do
got
this
regular
anymore,
paying
Mummy.
customers again.
Is it
Thirsty
your
workers
father?
at the end of the day, and more coin than I
He's
can
never been
count.
the same since my mother died. I don't think he ever wants me to feel the pain he suffers.
At some point, you're going to have to choose. No matter
There's
your
actually a
point,
funny
I'll
story
always
behind the
respect
name,
your
friend.
decision.
A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle, and it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed from its maw. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Well, well, Adril's got himself a spy, does he? Azura knows he needs all the help he can get. He's been chasing the Ulins for years now. No, I just think he's going about this the wrong way. Actually, I do. If you want to catch those slippery slaughterfish, you need to let them come to you. There's an Ulin ancestral tomb near the temple. Someone's been leaving ash yam offerings on the altar inside. If you were to wait inside for whomever that is, I'm betting they'll have some of the answers you're looking for. What makes you think I haven't? Anytime Adril and the Redoran Guard made a move, the Ulins must have been one step ahead and didn't show up. You can thank me if it works. Until then, I'd head to the tomb and wait until your visitor shows up. Back in '95, Vila
I don't know
Oh,
Ulin
if I
came to
can do
Raven
this
Rock
anymore,
with a
Andy.
plan to take over
Is
our
it because of
town.
your father?
But Fetcher
Or
thought
is
he
it
could
me?
stir up the locals and
He's
use them
never been
against
the
the
same
Redder and
since my
Guard,
mother died.
and then murder
I don't
Constable
think he ever
Morvain
wants me
when
to
we
feel
weren't
the
looking.
pain he suffers.
At some point, you're going
He
to have
arrived
to choose.
alone, but spread
matter
enough
the
coin
outcome,
around to start
I'll
changing
always
people's
respect your
minds.
decision.
Half of Bloody Town joined his side. Can you believe that? He underestimated the Redder and Guard. They were organised and brought a swift end to the coup. Vila tried to run, but he was caught by Captain Veleth himself. Vila Ulan was executed a short time later, and his remains placed in the Ulan ancestral tomb. When the Dunmer is laid to rest, the body is burned and returned to the ashen soil. Since the ash yam is born of the very same soil, it represents rebirth and renewal, the fact that life ends and begins anew. The finest sujama to cross your lips, friend. My own personal formula that I call Sadri's Sujama. In fact, I've just added some new ingredients to the mixture that I think makes it taste better than ever. All I need to do is get the word out that it's ready, and they'll flock here for it. I was kind of hoping you'd say that. Here, take these samples of the Sujama and spread the word. If you get rid of all of them, there's something extra in it for you. Working on those standing stones feels like a bad dream. I'm glad you woke us from it. Sorry, Gildas won't allow me to drink while I'm working at Venetch. Safe travels.
Serve House Redoran or serve no one.
I'll give you this warning only once. Take that swill and pour it down a well. All right, then.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Glover Mallory's the name. If you're looking for a smith, you found one of the best. Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
If you're dealing
I don't know who
with
sent you
there's
here.
only one
You've given
thing
us
to
something to
remember.
build on
somewhere
here.
else.
You're dead.
I hope
I'll
someday
give
we
you
can
no
repay you
burn.
for your kindness. I should mix some of this into my next potion. Who knows what would happen? After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lami, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit.
Give them to me and put it on my account.
It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal.
Put it on my
When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstheim, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help. As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstheim. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Remember, I have plenty of potions and ingredients if you're ever in the market.
Oh, hello. You looking for a handout or something? Well, tell Geldas that Miri says she really appreciates it. Next time, then.
I don't know what you did
My
in those
father and
mines.
mother are the richest
Don't be
on the
put
island.
off by my
And
husband's
that
mood.
includes Councillor Morgan.
He enjoys having visitors. Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you. Be careful out there.
Your actions here have been a blessing to us all, Sergio. Always a pleasure to taste anything Galdis comes up with. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always
It's
have
busier
plenty
now
of
that
food
things
for
are
sale.
starting